Phone. A serial killer has entered the city. His MO: cut the power, pick the lock, then torture his victims in the dark. Everyone, stay safe. The next second, the living room lights go out. Darkness swallows everything. Then, the sound of someone picking the lock at the front door. I look back at the storage room door behind me, covered in sealing tape. Despair washes over my face. That light-fearing, bloodthirsty monster hasn't eaten in 3 days. Now the seal is broken. The storage room has 3 high-power UV lights installed. That's the only way to keep Alpha dormant, because it's terrified of light, only under intense, constant brightness. Does it curl up in the corner like a dead thing? Once the light source is gone, all its senses come back online, especially its hearing. The lock-picking outside continues. To Alpha, that sound is like a dinner bell. The next second, the door gets pried open. A guy in a raincoat steps inside. He shines a bright flashlight in my face. Found you, little mouse. He grins, then closes the door behind him. Trying to trap me in here so he can take his time torturing me? This idiot has no idea. The thing hiding in here isn't his victim. It's his only way out, and it's already gone. The flashlight beam bounces around the living room. The guy in the raincoat is loving this cat and mouse vibe. He sees me pressed against the storage room door, shaking. He laughs. Don't be scared. The game's just getting started. He steps closer, his boots thudding against the floor. I'm pressed against the door. I can feel it vibrating slightly. That's Alpha waking up. It's stretching inside. Those deformed limbs, sharp claws scraping the inside of the door, getting ready to tear through this flimsy barrier. I have to get the raincoat guy away from here. If Alpha gets pissed off right now, I'm dead too. Don't come any closer, I'll give you all my money. Just please stop! You mice are all so boring. Can money buy me happiness? He pulls a knife from behind his back. He scrapes it against the wall. That horrible screeching sound. I love sounds. Screams, please for mercy, and the sound of bones snapping. Every scrape makes my heart jump. The noise he's making is way too loud. Stop making noise, please. She can hear you. The raincoat guy pauses. Then he bursts out laughing. She? You got someone else in here? He totally misunderstood me. His eyes light up even more. Where are they? Tell them to come out. I love killing mice in front of an audience. The second he finishes that sentence, a deep growl comes from the storage room. Then a massive crash. The door buckles instantly. The raincoat guy's laugh cuts off. He shines his light at the door. What the hell is that? While he's distracted, I bolt into the bedroom and lock the door. Then I watch through the peephole. Oh crap, no holding it back now. And the raincoat guy's still asking for it. He probably thinks there's a big guy hiding in there, so he holds up his knife and shouts, "Who's in there playing Ghost? Get out here now!" Next second, the door gives way and falls. The raincoat guy's cautious though. He doesn't rush in. First, he shines his light inside, but he doesn't see anything. Stop hiding. Get out here! But the storage room is dead silent. Only a disgusting rotting stench, mixed with some chemical smell. The smell is overwhelming. He instinctively covers his nose. Then he slowly steps inside. His flashlight scans the room. All he sees are broken chains and half-eaten raw meat. No sign of anything alive. Weird, did it escape? He's about to turn and leave the storage room, when a drop of thick liquid falls from the ceiling, lands right on his head. He feels it. He slowly looks up. The flashlight beam follows. He gasps. That primal human reaction to pure terror. With the flashlight's glow, I see it too. Hanging upside down from the storage room ceiling is a humanoid creature. It's Alpha, a failed genetic experiment. It's staring right at the prey below. The raincoat guy swings his knife, trying to fight back. But to Alpha, it's like slow motion. Next second, his flashlight gets knocked away. Then I hear screaming. Just when I think he's a goner, the raincoat guy somehow stumbles back out. But there's a huge gash on his chest. Alpha leaps to the living room ceiling. Looks like it wants to toy with him. What the hell kind of thing are you keeping in there? I whisper through the door. I warned you. You brought this on yourself. Man, I messed up, okay? Please save me! I pull a remote from my pocket. My last lifeline. A high-frequency sound emitter. Frequency set above 25,000 hertz. Humans can't hear it. But for Alpha, it's like stabbing its brain with needles. If Alpha kills him right now, I'm in trouble too. Plus, if someone dies here, the cops will come and my secret's out. I need to stabilize the situation, so I press the button. Alpha on the ceiling screeches in pain, then falls to the floor. I slowly step out of the bedroom. Shut up! Stop talking! The raincoat guy stares at the monster on the floor in horror, then at me. He finally realizes something's very wrong. You're crazier than I am. I turn off the emitter. If I leave it on too long, Alpha will adapt, and it'll stop working. Alpha slowly gets up. Its eyeless head turns side to side, probably wondering where that pain came from. It's looking for the source again. The living room goes completely silent. I'm standing at the bedroom door. The raincoat guy is slumped on the couch. Alpha is on the floor between us. I type on my phone and show it to him. This thing is terrified of light. I had it in hibernation with UV lights. Then you cut the power. You woke it up. This is your own fault. Now we're both playing a game. Whoever makes a sound first dies. The raincoat guy doesn't want to die. His eyes are full of fear. But he's killed before, he's no pushover. Soon his gaze turns malicious. He types on his phone and shows me. I get it, no eyes. It's blind. Only attacks things that make noise. Whatever side makes a sound, it attacks that side. Am I right? My face goes pale. I don't know what he's planning. Then he pulls a coin from his pocket. Oh, I see. A coin. Metal. Loud when it hits the floor. He's going to throw it toward me. If that coin lands near me, I'm done. But I can't run right now. That would make noise too. The raincoat guy grins. Then he flicks the coin toward me. I quickly take off a sock, ball it up, and throw it at him as hard as I can. The coin lands at my feet. The sock lands on the couch cushion. To a human, the coin is louder. But the coin has no heat, no smell. The sock has my body heat and my foot stench. Clearly, Alpha prefers the latter. Next second, Alpha lunges at the sock, tearing the cushion in half with it. The raincoat guy is stunned. He didn't think his plan would backfire. Not only did he fail to kill me, he made himself the target. Because when he threw the coin, he moved too much and reopened the wound on his chest. The smell of blood spreads through the room. Alpha follows the scent, moving closer. The raincoat guy knows he's a sitting duck. He looks at me, his eyes begging. He's pleading for help, but I don't move. Cornered people do crazy things. He pulls out a lighter. I told him. Alpha hates light, so he's going to gamble. Next second, he flicks the lighter on. The second the flame appears, Alpha flinches. It lets out an annoyed growl, then takes 2 steps back. The raincoat guy's face lights up. He holds the lighter toward the couch. If the couch catches fire, the light will drive the monster away. I watch him. I don't stop him. Instead, I hurry back into the bedroom. The flames shoot up. The fire lights up the whole living room, and it lights up Alpha's twisted, deformed face. It screeches in pain under the light, backing away. The raincoat guy smiles. He's made it. Come on, you animal, come get me! But he doesn't know. This old building just had a fire safety upgrade. Every room has a smoke detector on the ceiling, with its own backup battery. A few seconds later, the smoke triggers it. The ear-splitting alarm blares. That sound sends Alpha into a frenzy. It charges through the flames and pounces. Just when I think it's over, something shocks me. Alpha tears off the raincoat guy's sleeve. But what's underneath isn't a human arm. It's a black wing-like limb. No way. Is the raincoat guy a monster too? Then it hits me. A normal person couldn't survive Alpha's attack. But this guy only got a scratch on his chest. I thought Alpha was just playing with him. Yes, I was wrong. The raincoat guy is a monster too. But then why does he have human intelligence? That doesn't make any sense. Unless...
Flashed back to the first time I met Alpha. Back then, it was very small. It was lying on a bed in the laboratory. Ms. Van said it was a defective product, dangerous and uncontrollable, and had to be destroyed. But when I saw its tiny, emaciated frame, I suddenly felt a sense of compassion. It just wanted to survive, just like me, so I stole it and raised it on port. I knew that sooner or later something would happen, but I never expected that the one who would take the fall for my disaster would be a murderer. And on top of that, a murderer disguised by a monster. Could this be considered? Evil always has its consequences. I immediately pressed the remote control, activating the high-frequency sonic transmitter, then crept into the living room. But the scene before me made my hair stand on end. On the floor lay a strange man who seemed to have stopped breathing. Beside him was a discarded raincoat. Alpha was not far away, looking quite distressed. This is strange. Who is this man? Could he be the one in the raincoat? No, that's impossible. The one in the raincoat was a monster. I had seen its arm. This man couldn't be the monster. Maybe it can split itself when in danger. But that is just too absurd. I thought Natok probably couldn't understand the reason either, so I left it at that for now and stopped dwelling on it. Right now, I needed to quickly handle the emergency at hand. I hurriedly grabbed a syringe containing a high-concentration sedative enough to knock down an elephant. I walked over to Alpha and immediately plunged it into its neck. Within a few moments, Alpha sank into a deep sleep. Seeing that, I breathed a sigh of relief and turned off the high-frequency transmitter. This type of sedative cannot be used frequently, otherwise Alpha will develop antibodies, making the sedative lose its effect. Today was an exception forced by circumstances. Next came the most troublesome part, cleaning up the scene and covering up the story. I dragged Alpha into the storage room, flipped up a floorboard, and revealed a tunnel I had dug beforehand for emergencies. Although it was damp and musty, it was hidden enough. I pulled Alpha into the tunnel and replaced the floorboard as it was. Next was dealing with the strange man. I went to him and examined him carefully. His body was covered in Alpha's claw marks, but there were none on his chest. If he were the person in the raincoat, there would definitely have been marks on his chest. So who is he? Why did he appear here? The raincoat on the ground was clearly shed by the monster. Perhaps the monster had run away. Thinking of this, I decided not to question it further. I took a bottle of high-concentration corrosive acid from the bedroom, used in the lab to dispose of specimens, and poured it all over the man. White smoke quickly rose. Then I called the police. Help, the person in the raincoat broke into my house. I looked at the man for a moment, then at the raincoat on the ground, confirming it was the one worn by the serial killer. Then, the lead police officer asked me why there were so many claw marks on his body. These wounds don't look like they were caused by a human. It's like this: I have a dog, a large Tibetan Mastiff. After this maniac broke into my house to attack me, the Mastiff fought him to protect me. Those claw marks were left by the dog. Then why are there signs of chemical corrosion on his body? I was so scared. In the emergency, I threw acid on him. This should count as self-defense, right? What are you doing? Why is there high-concentration acid in your house? I do chemical experiments, so I have chemicals like that at home. Is this not legal? It's not illegal, I'm just a bit curious. And why is the sofa burnt? Because the one in the raincoat cut the power to my house, so I lit some candles. Perhaps the sofa accidentally caught fire. I was scared and hid in the bedroom. I don't know the specific situation, I just heard the struggle. Where is your Tibetan Mastiff? Where is it now? I don't know, perhaps it was scared and ran away. At that moment, another officer said, the body is too severely destroyed, especially the claw marks. They look like they were made by a beast, and all have been treated with acid. It is very difficult to determine the specific cause of death, but from the scene, there are indeed signs of a violent struggle. Soon the media reporters arrived. The camera flashes blinded me. Public opinion had built me up as a hero who defeated the person in the raincoat. Under such a halo, the police, even if they were suspicious, didn't dare to do anything to me. After all, the person who died was a serial killer. No one would sympathize with him. I was hospitalized for 3 days. The police came to question me several times, trying to find loopholes in my story, but I answered them fluently each time. The psychologist's diagnosis helped a lot. Severe post-traumatic stress disorder, requires rest and should not be overly stimulated. On the day of my discharge, I returned returned home and went straight to the storage room. I flipped up the floorboard, but when I climbed into the tunnel, I was stunned. How is this possible? How did it escape? Did it flip the floorboard up and crawl out itself? Impossible. It couldn't be that smart. At that moment, I suddenly thought of the one in the raincoat. That monster's IQ was very high. Could Alpha's IQ also be leveling up? Thinking of this, I immediately called my mentor. Alpha was created by him through experimental culture. Teacher, besides Alpha, did you ever cultivate any other monsters? My mentor was stunned. Trankayat, why do you suddenly ask that? I didn't expect it to have evolved to this degree. Back then, I did cultivate two monsters. One was Alpha and the other was Peter. Peter's initial intelligence was already very high, equivalent to a 5-year-old child, so I thought it was a successful specimen and secretly kept it, hiding it in an abandoned factory. But 3 years ago, one night, I went to feed it and found it had escaped. Since then, I haven't seen it again. I didn't expect its IQ to have evolved to that of an adult, even becoming a serial killer. Does Peter have any superpowers? Why could it transform a man from nothing? And does it have any weaknesses? I don't know about that. I hung up. I needed to find Alpha to prevent it from harming innocent people outside. I had implanted a GPS tracker into Alpha's body. I hoped it still had power. I checked my phone and to my surprise found Alpha's location. It was in a remote forest outside the city. I grabbed the remote and rushed there. The scene before me terrified me. Peter was also there. The next second they lunged at each other, but Alpha seemed a bit stronger. Peter was quickly knocked to the ground. Just as Alpha was about to finish Peter off, Peter suddenly spat a plume of thick smoke from its mouth. The thick smoke immediately obscured Peter. When the smoke cleared, Peter had vanished without a trace. In his place was a strange man. My goodness, Peter really does have superpowers. This trick must be a body double. When in danger, it swaps places with someone else. That's how it can get away. Just as I didn't know what to do, Alpha suddenly spat smoke and vanished on the spot as well. It had learned this superpower in such a short time. I checked my phone for its location. Unexpectedly, this time it appeared at the bottom of the ocean. Seeing this, I had to return home first. But at 11 p.m., Alpha suddenly teleported to the living room. It collapsed on the floor, exhausted. I didn't know who had won the fight or where Peter had gone. Seeing that I couldn't stay here any longer, I decided to pack Alpha up and move that night. I put it into a large, custom-made crate and paid a high price to find a truck. The driver was a bald man with a fierce look. Seeing me moving alone in the middle of the night, a look of suspicion appeared in his eyes. "Young man, what's in this big crate? It's heavy as hell." "Sir, there's seafood inside." "Really, seafood? Something smells wrong. Why is there a rotten meat smell?" "Probably some fish died, that's why it smells rotten. Don't worry about it. Let's get going." But not long after we started, I noticed a problem. The truck was taking a remote, narrow road, definitely not the way to my new house. I hurriedly questioned him, "Sir, didn't you take the wrong road?" The driver stopped, turned his head, and gave a cold smile. "Late at night like this, helping you move isn't easy. Shouldn't you give me a little extra?" "Sure, how much do you want?" "Not much, just give me 100,000 yuan." "What did you say, 100,000? You must be crazy from poverty. I'm not taking this ride anymore. Get that crate down for me." I immediately got out of the truck, but the driver grabbed me. "Don't think I don't know. The thing in this crate is definitely something you can't let anyone see. You have to pay me these 100,000 yuan today. If not, I'm calling the police." I was shocked. I didn't expect the driver's observation skills to be so sharp, but I wasn't scared because I knew Alpha was about to wake up. "Sir, if you know everything, then I won't pretend anymore. You must really want to know what's in the crate, right? Why don't I open it for you now? Let me open your eyes." "He's sure, I want to see what's inside." The driver and I struggled, shaking the crate. I slapped the crate and said, "Alpha, wake up. Someone wants to blackmail your dad. It's time for you to act." "Who are you talking to? What exactly is in this?" A growl from Alpha echoed from inside the crate. The driver was so scared he froze. "Young man, I know I was wrong. Please don't open it. I'll move you for free. I won't take your money anymore. How about that?" "All right, you and I have no grievances and I don't want your life. But you must promise not to tell anyone about this." "No problem. I swear to heaven I, Vuong Daisun, will never tell anyone. Otherwise, may I be struck by lightning." I nodded in satisfaction. Soon, the driver dropped me off at my new house. Early a few days later, I was woken up by a knock at the door. I opened it, and to my surprise, it was that driver. Behind him were Officer Tham and 2 other officers. "Yes, that's him. He's hiding a living creature in that crate. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like a lion or some kind of beast." My heart sank. In the end, I had to tell the truth to Officer Tham. They then handed Alpha over to my mentor for processing. Trankayat, do you know, the fight between Alpha and Peter at sea that day was accidentally filmed by a professional diver. In the end, Alpha defeated Peter, effectively destroying a serial killer who did a good deed. "Really? That's great then. I feed it pork every day and often tell it not to harm anyone. It seems Alpha understands humanity well. Since it was born, it has never harmed anyone. Because the Peter I cultivated harmed quite a few people, I have to face the punishment of the law. Now on, this lab belongs to you. Hope you can research beautiful things that help humanity and become a good person who contributes." During this, I nodded with tears in my eyes.
The end of story.